Yo, what's going on, guys? And if you guys haven't seen already, our man Trevion Williams has signed an Exhibit 10 contract with the Golden State Warriors. If you guys don't know what an Exhibit 10 contract is, an Exhibit 10 contract is a contract, basically it's a training camp deal. It's worth a significant amount of money. I believe it's probably like $50,000, $100,000. Don't quote me on that. You probably can search up the actual dollar amount, and it gives him a chance to compete for a roster spot in training camp. So he gets paid to try out to get either a two-way contract or a roster spot. Now, if you guys haven't followed Trevion Williams, the man who played 4 years at Purdue, he's a 6'9", rebounding, passing dog. I actually had him as one of my top 60 players in this year's NBA draft. I thought he was worthy of being drafted. And with that being said, I think Trevion Williams is someone to talk about. He'll be 22 at the start of the NBA season. And Trevion Williams, in my opinion, was a guy that I really don't know why teams didn't take a flyer on him. He went undrafted. He's 6'9", 265 pounds. He was a four-star recruit coming out of college. He finished his last year actually shooting 36% almost from three, and was a guy who averaged basically through his career like 12 to 15 points and 7 to 9 rebounds. So let's talk about what I like about this cat. Look, for me, I buy into him because he has a very high IQ, he has a really good feel for the offensive end, and has great passing ability. He's a guy who averaged literally 3 assists a game by the end of his college career at Purdue. And the other thing that I think he's really good is he'll be able to run the second unit as kind of a poor man's Draymond Green with that passing ability. And I don't know that he can derive more from an offense besides passing out the high elbow and the low post, or even just passing from the top of the key and being a catch and shoot three-pointer, as he was somewhat of a below average defender, and it's going to be tougher for him in the NBA. He was one of my favorite players, honestly, to watch, and he's a guy who's phenomenal with the ball in his hands. He orchestrated Purdue's offense and was just dropping dimes at times for them all over the court. And if he could shoot it, I might buy into him figuring it out sooner rather than later, but he needs some work on how to figure out defensively. But I think he'd be very difficult to guard, as at the end of the day, I think he's one of those guys who very much, I know the defensively, there is a weakness there. He's a really bad pick and roll defender, and he played in a drop scheme, and he got pretty badly burnt. So he has a better chance in switches, I feel like, if he loses weight. But right now, he does have a better chance in drop coverage than switch, and his anticipation that he has on offense doesn't seem to be around defensively, as guys can turn the corner with it on him with ease. And he's an average rim protector. He's a guy through college that even average over a block or steal a game. But he has a 7'3" wingspan, which makes you think that, hey, he can do this. And look, he took a backseat to Zach Edey this year. And for me, that he plays well off the block as a post scorer, and he'll pound dribble a couple times. He has a good low center of gravity. And I really do think he's a guy, and he's arguably the best passing big man in this draft class. And I think he's definitely somebody that people need to pay attention to. And for me, I think the big thing with him is maybe, losing 10 pounds or churning 10, 15 pounds into, just slimming. I guess slimming like 10, 15 pounds, maybe that'll help him on switches. And because I just think, if he can be a better switch defender, especially on a Warriors team, it'll be probably more beneficial for him to lose some weight. That way he can play a little bit of four. But besides that, I think he's a guy that people should definitely be paying attention to. He has a spot in this league. And for me, it just comes down to him being able to switch and hit the shot, really become a better scorer from three, as he's always was a 50+% field goal shooter through college, and he didn't really take many three-pointers, as he was like a 50% foul shooter. But if he can stretch the floor, I think that's something that he can do, as he's a really good high post player. And honestly, he could carve out an NBA career as a playmaker, diagnosing situation. His ability to handle, finish, and even toss up the occasional floater work really well because of his dexterity. So I think, you know, there's possibilities for him. So I want to hear your thoughts down below, guys. What do you guys think of him? But that's it. Bye bye.